welcome to the stage a man who needs no introduction, our #1 money earner, national director, the coach, stream millionaire, Mr. Presley Swagerty.
Well, greetings. Now I can see a little bit. Well, I realize the mind can absorb only what the rear can endure, so I will try to be brief. How is that? Also, I'm a little hungry, so I won't keep you long, but I've come all the way from Texas, so I better tell you something, right? I'm going to do 3 quick things tonight. I'll tell you a little bit about me, a little bit about the company, and then I will tell you what I think we need to do if you really want to make a lot of money. And I'm telling you right now, I can't guarantee anybody in this room millions of dollars. I can't guarantee that at all. But I'm going to tell you, you're in a position to have a chance to do something real special. Is that fair enough? I'm excited to be here because I understand how it went when we launched Texas. I understand how it went when we launched Georgia and Pennsylvania and Maryland and New York and New Jersey and DC. I know how it went. So when you're in on the ground floor when it's first starting, not that you can't do it later. I mean, we've got guys that have made tons of money that came in 2 or 3 years ago, but I'm telling you, when you're in at the beginning, that's just the best place to start. So you're in the right place at the right time, and hopefully, if you got the motivation and are really wanting to change yourself, then we can do something and we'll help you, okay? Fair enough? I'm a high school basketball coach. I coached for 16 years at Lakeview High School in Garland, Texas. I loved it, did it with a passion, felt like it helped some kids. Turn those lights up if you would. Somebody's leaning on them, I guess. I'd rather have them all up. I coached, had some success as a coach, didn't make much money. If you know any educators, you can probably relate to that. I finally decided the Mavericks, Lakers, Bulls, none of those teams were going to call me to coach their team. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do to change my financial picture when a friend of mine called and said, "Hey, I got something I want you to look at." I looked at that. I could not have explained all that had my life depended on it. I didn't understand it. I just kept thinking, gee, that might work. I mean, that was really the only thoughts going through my mind was, gee, that might work. Everybody needs electricity. You know, I never did want to be running around selling stuff, but I thought they already got electricity. So, I think I can do this. So that was my thought process. So I decided to give it a shot. I got in. I had a goal to make $1,000 a month. I mean, that was my big goal, make $1,000 a month. I thought if I could make $1,000 a month, it'd help me pay some credit card bills down. You guys have credit cards up here? And isn't it like they charge 400% interest? I mean, it's like you never can get them suckers paid down, right? I mean, it's just like, it's always at the max, it seems like. But I thought if I could make $1,000 a month, I'd put that whole grand towards my credit cards and see if I couldn't pay that stuff down. So I started talking to people. It took me 6 months, but I finally got an envelope that had a check in it with a comma. I have never been as excited to see a comma in my whole life as to have a residual check with my name on it and a comma. But I used to go to church with a man named Zig Ziglar. And Zig would always say, go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you're going to be able to see a little further. Zig was right. Zig was right. When I got it to $1,000 a month, I could see 3. Then we got it to $3,000 a month, I could see 5, then 10, then 20. And ladies and gentlemen, I say it very humbly because it's my team that's done it, but I've been blessed to make a whole lot of money with this company, and I'm nothing special. I grew up dirt poor in southeast Dallas and then taught school for 16 years. There's no qualifications in there to have made millions of dollars. It's because I had a work ethic, yes, but we had an opportunity and a vehicle. Do you follow me? That is so key that we had the opportunity in the vehicle, and that's what we got to take advantage of now. But that's enough about me, other than as of 5 weeks ago, I am a proud grandfather. So I'm going to talk about that. My first grandson and first grandchild, but Grayson Michael. So I'm pumped up about Grayson. I'm going to go home tomorrow and get to see Grayson, hold on to him a little bit. But anyway, that's my life story. Now, the company, I'm telling you, it is an amazing time to be involved because 1.5 years ago, we got a new CEO, a guy named Larry Mondry. Larry came on board. Do y'all remember CompUSA? Did they have that up here? Was CompUSA up here? Larry is the one that took CompUSA as their CEO from $150 million to $7 billion. Led them in that growth phase. And then he took a auto parts company, I think it was called GSK, I believe, and took them from kind of like startup to $2 billion. Larry's got a gift to grow companies. Well, the board of directors of Stream called Larry in and said, we want to hire you. Your directive from us is to grow Stream. Now, understand, this company's already done $8 billion in 12 years. It's not like they're a little bitty company. They're a big company. But the board of directors wants to see them, do gazillions of dollars, whatever that is. Now, why that's important to you and I is because they market with network marketing. In other words, if that's going to happen, that means a bunch of people are going to make a whole lot more money. So Larry is in that growth phase right now, and this is the first step in his growth phase, was launching Illinois. He's got so many things planned. I'm so excited because of the man named Larry Mondry. The other man I'm excited about is Robert Wilson. You got to see Robert. He is a genius as far as I'm concerned in the network marketing world. He has a great mind for this business. So between those two guys, I'm excited about what's going on and where this company's headed. And I think this company will go from doing $8 billion in 12 years to doing $8 billion a year, maybe. I don't know what it'll be, but I'm pumped up about where it's going, because that means us common people, have a chance to do something real special. So, me, company. Now, let's talk a little bit about what I think it takes to be successful. I'm going to give you 3 words here. The other night, Monday night, when we did that first meeting, I gave everybody 4, told them I was going to give them 4 words, and I forgot to do the last one, huh? So I decided I'd cut one off tonight. I'm going to do 3 words. It's different words, but 3 words tonight, 3 points. 1, dream. 2, grow. 3, work. I'm a simple-minded guy. I'm going to tell everybody in this room right now, you need to get your dreams back, ladies and gentlemen. You need to start dreaming again. Because I believe, with all my heart, we were created to do more than just be born, work, pay bills, and die. See, there's more to life than that, but it's going to take us having a mind change. We got to kind of think a little bit different, but we can. I'm living proof of that. But we've got to get our dreams back. You know, when we were in high school and college, we were going to conquer the world, right? I mean, we were going to do all these great things and live in this fabulous house and drive these nice cars and do all these wonderful things and take our families on these nice vacations. And then life starts beating on us. And all of a sudden, our dreams start dropping off one by one. Well, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get back in the dream business again. It's time for us to get excited about life again, because we only get this one life. Do you understand me? This is not a dress rehearsal. We don't get do-overs. So it doesn't matter where we are right now in our life. We may be young, we may be middle-aged, we may be old. Doesn't really matter. We can start now and change the ending. See, we can't go back and make a new beginning, but we can start now and make an ending that we want. Now, here's the whole key, though. You got to know where you're going. So I'm going to ask you to do 2 things if you really want to change your life. And I'll tell you, I do these 2 things. You need to have a dream board somewhere. You need to put up the house you're wanting to live in, the car you're wanting to drive. If you're wanting to take care of your parents, put a picture of your parents up there. If you want to send your kids to college, put a picture of the institution you're wanting to send them to. Whatever motivates you, whatever your dreams are, those big dreams, put them up on that board. Something that'll remind you daily of what you're trying to accomplish with your life. Maybe you want to get more at church. Whatever you want to do, put it up on that board. Now, after you've done that, see, goals are the stepping stones to our dreams, so then we need some goals. So then I want you to write your goals down of what you're going to accomplish and how you're going to do it. And when I talk about that, there should be 4 areas where you write goals down from. Physical goals, fitness. Number 2, it should be relationship, personal growth, and finance. Now, you know, the other day somebody said, you know, Presley, all you think about is money. You think money's most important. I said, no, but it is real close to oxygen, huh? I mean, if we really think that through. How important is money when you need it? Money like real important, huh? Now, you know, here's my philosophy on life. Yours might be different, but I always think we need to keep our priorities. My priorities are the good Lord first, family second, and then making money the next one. That's how I think we should work that, because I think if we get those things out of order, our life can fall apart right before our very eyes. But we've got to have our goals. So I challenge you before you go to bed tonight to write down the goals. What do you want to accomplish in your life? Do you want to lose some weight? Do you want to get your cholesterol down? You know, do you want to grow as a person? You know, put a couple of things you can do for that. Relationships with your kids, your spouse, whatever. How can I improve that? And then some financial goals, ladies and gentlemen. I could talk all night about goal setting, but we'll move from there. So, 1, we need our dreams back, ladies and gentlemen. Write them down. Number 2, we need to grow as a person. The best piece of advice I ever got, and this is kind of the thing that I live by now as far as business and stuff, it's if you want more, you got to become more. I went and asked one of the few successful people in my family. I got a huge family, and I mean most of them have accomplished 0 with their life, but I had one cousin named Manny Carter that actually made something out of himself, and I went to Manny and asked him, I want to be like you, Manny, what do I need to do? And he said, Presley, you got to understand, if you want more, you got to become more. You don't chase success, you attract success by the person you become. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to change ourselves. We need to quit worrying about what's going on around us. If we want to be successful, we need to change what's inside us. So here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to give you 4 quick steps of how we grow as a person. One, we need to read a little bit. I taught math, so I wouldn't have to read. I don't even like to read. I'm not a very good reader, if you want to know the truth, huh? But if we'll read 10 pages a day, and couldn't we read 10 pages, yes or yes? Yes. Couldn't we find time to read 10 pages? I'm talking 15, 20 minutes of our day. Couldn't we find that if we thought it was important? Yes or yes? Come on. Yes. Yeah, we could. 10 pages. Not a big deal, is it? Well, would that change our life if we read 10 pages tonight before we went to bed? No, I don't think it would. I guess it could, but probably not. But what if we did that again tomorrow? Found a few minutes and read 10 pages. And the next day we found a few minutes and read 10 pages. And the next day we found a few minutes and read 10. How about for one calendar year we just simply scratched out 15, 20 minutes and read 10 pages out of a good book? I did teach math. 365 times 10 is 3,650, and you've read somewhere between 15 to 20 good books. And if you're anything like me, I would dare say we hadn't read that many books in 10 years, huh? At least most of us. Ladies and gentlemen, if we'll read and put some good stuff in our mind, because see, this negative stuff's what's got us where we are now. We got to get some new thoughts in our mind. We got to get some new thinking up there, and that's how we do it, is by reading just a little bit. Isn't that right, Mr. Winchell? Number 2, besides reading, as you're driving around in what I call a rolling university, instead of listening to the negative news, why don't we get books on CD and put in that CD player and listen to something good instead of listening to the negative news or bebop into the jams? Why don't we put that book on CD in there and listen a little bit? Do you realize the average American drives about 30 minutes a day? Do you realize in 5 years that's 1,250 hours? Do you realize if you would just be listening to something good, something educational, that would be the equivalent of a 4-year college education? Pretty mind-boggling when you think about it. Now, if I said anything difficult, read 10 pages a day and listen to a book on CD as we're driving around, anything difficult about that? No. Third one isn't difficult either. Instead of watching the time-wasting electronic income reducer that most of us call a TV, you realize the average American watches 6 hours of TV a day? Here's my theory on that, ladies and gentlemen. My theory on the television is this. I don't want to watch millionaires having fun. I want to be a millionaire having fun. And I'm going to tell you this, you're not going to be a millionaire having fun if you're sitting there watching that electronic income reducer 6 hours a day. Now, I'm not going to adjust my halo and say I never watch TV. I'm a sports guy. I've coached. I mean, occasionally I'll watch a ball game. Every once in a while I'll watch a movie. But I will say this. Weeks will go by lots of times that I never turn my television on. I got important things to do with my life. I want to be a success. And if I work on that instead of watching that, guys, we don't get anywhere by watching the TV all the time. Here's what I recommend at night. Instead of watching that TV, take 30 minutes and get your computer, your smartphone, your tablet, whatever you want to, go to YouTube. And why don't we Google and watch just 20, 30 minutes of some Zig Ziglar? How about some Les Brown? How about some Joyce Myers or Stephen Covey or Jim Rohn? Or I could just go down the list of personal growth giants of our day, guys. Why don't we listen to some Tony Robbins? Why don't we we could just listen to a little of that instead of watching that, because get this, that last 30 minutes before you go to sleep at night, whatever's happening in your life, that last 30 minutes, that's what your mind dwells on the rest of the night. Why don't we watch a little something that puts something good up here so our mind will be dwelling on some positive things while we're sleeping? So we're going to read a little bit. We're going to listen as we're driving around. We're going to watch some personal growth instead of so much TV. And my 4th one is this. You know, I used to coach, so at the beginning of the season I'd have a team meeting. That sounds like a smart thing to do as a coach, doesn't it? Have a team meeting. So I'd have a team meeting and I'd have my players all in a room. And I'd talk about, how I want them to act and dress and show respect and do all the stuff you'd want to talk to a bunch of young men about. That's how I would work it. But then I'd always, somewhere in that talk, I'd look at them and I'd say, you show me who you run with and I'm going to show you who you are or who you're going to be. You know, I knew if they ran with the right crowd, then chances are they would stay out of trouble. Well, I don't think we're going to go out of here and knock off a convenience store or anything, guys, but you know what? I'm going to make the same statement to us. You show me who you run with and I'm going to show you who you are or who you're going to be. You know, if we're running with positive, motivated people that see the glass half full, do you realize that stuff rubs off on you? And all of a sudden you start thinking positive thoughts. All of a sudden you start realizing you can accomplish great things in your life. But here's the problem. The flip side of that's also true. If you're running with a bunch of negative, dull, disillusioned, frustrated crybabies, if you're running with people that are always blaming somebody else or something else for their lack of success, ladies and gentlemen, that stuff rubs off on you too. And I have found in my life that it's next to impossible to be positive if you're running with a bunch of negative people. See, if you're negative, my legs still work, I'm out of here. I mean, that's just the way I work it. I mean, I don't have time for negativity. I can't waste my time. See, my life is too important. What legacy I leave is too important for me to run with a bunch of negative people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we all know winners in our life. Yes? Yes. And we all know losers in our life. Yes? Yes. Yes. If you, from the part of town I grew up in, most of my buddies were losers. Now, I'll say this. If Corky Holden, the guy that I used to run with, he led me down a few wrong roads, I'll say that. If he walked in that back door, I'd hug his neck and tell him I loved him. But I can't run with him. You follow the difference? I got to know who I can run with and who I can't run with. Guys, pick winners. That's probably the most important thing I'll tell you right now. If you'll start running with people that are going somewhere with their life, all of a sudden you'll realize you can go somewhere with your life. So we're going to get our dream board together. We're going to write our goals down before we go to sleep tonight so we can start working on those. Then we're going to start growing as a person, because if we want more, we got to become more. So we're going to start reading. We're going to start watching some YouTube instead of the TV. We're going to start listening to some books on CD instead of the negative stuff. And we're going to start running with winners. Guys, that's 4 simple things that everybody in this room can do in your life if you really want to change it. Now, my third point, last one. Dream, grow. My last point is work. See, one of the greatest indictments, I think, on our great nation, and it is the greatest nation on earth, one of my indictments on this country is we got about half the population sitting around with their hand out wanting something for nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you what, my mama worked 40 years in a sewing factory. She retired, and yeah, the government sent her a check. $900 of Social Security. Please tell me that you're setting the bar a little higher than that. See, the average Social Security check's $1,200, ladies and gentlemen. That's not the golden years, that's going to the golden arches. You're going to be going to McDonald's, that's where you're going to be going if that's what you're trying to live on at this point in time. We've got a chance to change that. See, we can control our own destiny if we want to, but it's going to take us doing something. So we've got to understand that. We've got to work. Now I'm going to give you the steps, and these are very simple on how to be successful in Stream right now. 1, you need to make a list of everybody you've ever known in your entire life. Don't prejudge, because I'm telling you right now, there's different levels of broke, okay? You can drive an old beat up used car and live in a mobile home and be broke. But you can also drive that SL Mercedes and live in that 6,000 square foot brick house and still be broke. They can still be living paycheck to paycheck. I learned that. You never know what's going on in somebody's life, guys. You just share this with everybody that you've ever known. So make a list of everybody you've ever known in your entire life. Next, you want to be your own best customer. You know, I had AT&T for probably 16 years on my mobile phone. But you know what? When I could be my own customer, guess what I did? I kicked AT&T out and became my own customer. You need to be your own best customer. You need to be on the energy. If you're in an area that has ComEd, you need to be on Stream Energy. We're cheaper, by the way, huh? I mean, do you understand that? We're cheaper than ComEd. So we need to be switching ourselves, because understand this, anything Stream offers, we need to have it. Here's a reason why that I tell you that. Do you realize our business is a monkey see, monkey do business? So if you're doing it, then your team will do it. If you're not doing it, then your team won't do it. I'm telling you, that's the way this business is. You need to be talking about how great the mobile phone is and how much money you saved on your energy bill with Stream and stuff like that, and then your team will get excited about doing that. So we're going to make a list, and we're going to be our own best customer. Then, number 3, we got to show up. If you want to show up to everything you can show up for, you got to get into this thing if you're wanting to change your life. You got to get into this thing if you're wanting to make some crazy amounts of money. Do you follow me? You can't just play with this if you're going to really do it big. And here's the neat thing. You say, well, I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing that. No, you don't have to. I'm telling you, somewhere 24, 36, 48 months, if you'll really bust your butt, you got a chance to not have to work again. I said a chance. Does everybody follow me? Yes. Do you realize I worked my butt off for about the first 3 years, and at this point in time, I don't have to be here. The other day, somebody said, well, if you've made all those millions, why are you still doing this? I said, I don't know how much enough is, but I ain't there yet, huh? I mean, I still got goals. You can read them on my phone. I've got my goals, too, that I'm still working for. Now, you're going to make a list, be your own best customer. You're going to plug in to the conference calls and to the meetings that you can get to. And then here's the big key for success in our business. You've got to set appointments and show the plan. You're going to have to show that plan over and over and over. There's a little short video. You can just do that. or you can print the pages off and put them in a little binder or something and do it yourself, however you feel comfortable doing it. But the whole key to our business is showing the plan and showing the plan and showing the plan and showing the plan. And if they say they don't want to be a business partner, then you get them as your customer. You go, hey, we're cheaper than ComEd, let me have your energy bill. We get customers from no to business partners. Now understand this, is Flo still in here? Or did he step out? Anyway, he stepped out. Mark Flores is one of the top money earners in this company. He and Mark Dean, who's on his team too, those two guys together have probably made me $10 million. Now I say that because of this. I could have just got them as my customer. You always go for business partners first. That's my philosophy, and it's worked well for me. You go for business partner first because a good business partner can make you a bunch of money. A good customer will make you a buck or two a month, huh? So if they don't want to be your business partner, then get them as your customer then, but approach everybody and just keep showing the plan. Now understand, this guy named Pareto a long time ago came up with the 80-20 rule. Do you realize that's in effect in Stream also? You got to understand, 80% of the people you talk to, they're going to tell you they want to change their life, but they're not willing to get out there and do anything. So just understand that going in, but the 20%ers can make you rich. Do you understand me? That's such a key in this business. You're going to get no's, so just understand it going in that you're going to get some no's. But if you'll be doing all that other stuff and growing as a person, you'll realize those no's are just stepping stones to a yes. All right, we're going to dream, we're going to grow, we're going to work. I'm going to end with this. I did this business for my family. Did it for my family. You know, my wife and I, we were having marital problems because she was working a lot of hours, I'm working a lot of hours, we barely seeing each other. You know, Jeannie, now she doesn't work. For you ladies, Jeannie is now a professional shopper. And since the advent of the computer and all that drop ship stuff, it never stops. I mean, she'll be there at 12 at night, shopping away. I mean, it's crazy. There's boxes coming right and left to my back door all the time. You know, she got a great honor bestowed on her the other day. They inducted her into the MasterCard Hall of Fame. I mean, it was something that she got real excited about. Our daughter was wanting to go to Baylor. Baylor's a private school, about $30,000-$40,000 a year. I'm a coach. I can't afford Baylor. I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I can tell my baby, no, you can't go to a community college, or I can tell her, oh, you can go, but then when you get out, you got $150,000 in debt. I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, because of this business, Sarah Beth, she got in, by the way, for the young folks in this room, listen up real quick. She got in when she was 18. Sarah Beth paid her own way to Baylor her freshman year because of this business. Back up. I paid her first year, and then the next 3 years, because of this business, Sarah Beth paid her way those last 3 years. You don't have to be old and gray like I am to be able to do this business. So young people can do this as well. Now, you know, let me say one other thing, and I'm talking a little long, but I'll try to hurry here. I think everything we do has a ripple effect. Do you understand that, ladies and gentlemen? Everything we do. I think my kids have watched me a little bit, and they saw me chasing my dreams, and I think that they realized they can chase their dreams, because when Sarah Beth graduated from Baylor and she made $1 billion 4 years into business school, she takes after her mama, okay? But she is pursuing a singing career. Sarah Beth is a rising country music star, and she's chasing her dreams right now. And I think, I don't take credit for her talent or her hard work, but I think somehow, just a little bit, she saw me chasing mine, and it motivated her and made her realize she could chase hers. Do you follow me? Now our son, this is the last kid I have, I only have two. Our son was a good baseball player, and Jordan was a good player. We're at Garland High School now. They had a good football program, but they didn't care about baseball. And we go to the first game as a freshman, and if you know anything about baseball, his freshman year on the varsity, he's batting 3-hole playing shortstop, okay? So he's a good player. I get to the first game, and there's nobody there. There's no college coaches, there's no pro scouts, there's not even any fans there. And I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't matter how good Jordan is. If he doesn't have anybody to see him, it doesn't matter. So I want him to go to a school where they took pride in baseball. Well, I checked at the private school. We went to Prestonwood, that's where I met Zig, and PCA was like $13,000-$14,000 a year. I'm going, well, I can't afford that. So his freshman year, he went to Garland High. But his sophomore, junior, and senior years, because of Stream, Jordan got to go to Prestonwood, where he ended up being an Aflac All-American, National Player of the Year, went to Arizona State, where he was an All-American, got drafted in the second round by the St. Louis Cardinals, and got to play for them for a while before he hurt his arm. Now, again, I don't know how it would have turned out if he had stayed at Garland High School, but I know how it turned out that I could get him in a better school. You follow what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? And again, he chased his dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a chance to leave that legacy of teaching our kids and grandkids that they can do more. We just got to understand that it's going to take us getting out of our comfort zone to do it. And then the last person I'll say a word about is my little mama. My mama died on February 6th of 2008. Saddest day of my life. My mama was a great lady, didn't know how to make money, but she was a wonderful mom. I'm the man I am because of my little mama. I can't tell you how many times I remember sitting there watching my mom count change out of her purse to be able to go eat a hamburger with a friend because she had no money. Now, my big regret in this business is that it came along just a little late. About the time we started making money, my poor little mama's mind started slipping. And I couldn't take care of her the way I wanted to. If I could have, she'd have been driving a Mercedes, living in a big fancy house, I tell you, and should have been eating at the nicest restaurants around. Didn't work out that way, but I tell you what, I didn't have to put her in a nursing home. I put her in an assisted living facility because I could afford to do it. And my mom got to live her last 2 or 3 years with some dignity. Now, you say, well, that's a sad story about your mom. Why are you telling us? I'm telling you because your parents may have some good years left. Your grandparents may have some good years left. Why don't you get off your butt and do something and help them out now where they can enjoy it? You know, they may not be able to do it, but we can do it. Why don't we? See, we got to learn this, ladies and gentlemen. We need to quit making excuses because you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. Woo! Let me say this. Y'all repeat after me real quick. Just one simple thing. I'll say it and then you repeat it. I made my last excuse yesterday.
I made my last excuse yesterday.
No, let's say it like we mean it this time. Let's do that one more time. I made my last excuse yesterday.
I made my last excuse yesterday.
If you'll quit making excuses, ladies and gentlemen, you can accomplish anything you want to in your life. We've got the vehicle and you're in on the ground floor. And I'm going to tell you this, everybody listening to me right now, you've got greatness inside you. Everybody in this room, you got greatness inside you. But you're going to have to do some stuff to get that greatness out. And it makes me sad when I drive by cemeteries, Coach, because I look and I realize that most of those people went to their grave with their greatness still in them. Let's not be in that group. You understand this group right here? We've got enough people right here that we could conquer the world if we really wanted to. You understand we can certainly conquer Chicago for spring, but it's going to take us doing that. Guys, let's get off our butt, let's get out of our comfort zone, and let's make this happen, and let's show the people with our last name that we can do something special. I believe with all my heart there'll be 2 groups of us in this room. There's going to be the group that's glad they did, and there's going to be the group that wishes they had, because it's going to happen with or without any of us. Thanks for coming. God bless. Be here. We'll be back next week, guys.